Welcome to the CDL General Knowledge Practice Exam Part 2. The distance that you should look ahead of your vehicle amounts to about what a fraction of a mile at highway speeds. A, 1/2 of a mile, B, 1/4 of a mile, C, 1/8 of a mile, or D, 1/10 of a mile. The answer is actually B, 1/4 of a mile. You are starting your vehicle in motion from a stop, and you apply power to the drive wheels and they begin to spin. What should you do? A, try a lower gear. B, take your foot off the accelerator. C, press harder on the accelerator. Or D, take your foot off of the accelerator and apply the brakes. The answer is B, take your foot off of the accelerator. When the roads are slippery, you should do what? A, stop and test the traction while going uphill. B, make turns as gentle as possible. C, decrease the distance that you look ahead of your vehicle. Or D, drive alongside other vehicles. The answer is B, make turns as gentle as possible. Which one of these can cause a vehicle to skid? A, over-acceleration. B, turning too sharply. C, not enough weight on the front drive axle. Or D, all of the above. The answer is A, over-acceleration. What is the principal way that you should control your speed going down a long and/or steep downgrade? A, light steady brake pressure. B, hard braking pressure, release, and hard braking pressure again. Or C, braking effect of the entire engine. Or D, shift to a lower gear about halfway down. The answer is C, braking effect of the entire engine. Which of these statements about downshifting is true? A, when double clutching, you should let the RPMs decrease while the clutch is released and then shift lever is in neutral. B, when you downshift for a curve, you should do so before you enter the curve. C, when you downshift for a hill, you should do so after you start down the hill. Or D, all of the above are true. The answer is B, when you downshift for a curve, you should do so before you enter the curve. Which of these pieces of emergency equipment should always be carried in your vehicle? A, spare electrical fuses if needed. B, warning devices for parked vehicles. C, fire extinguishers. Or D, all of the above. The answer is D, all of the above. Finish the following sentence. Truck escape ramps A should not be used if brakes fail on downgrades. B, cannot be used by certain types of vehicles. C, help avoid damage to vehicles. Or D, all of the above. The answer would be C, help avoid damage to vehicle. The Commercial Driver's Manual suggests several things to do when you pass a vehicle. Which one of these is not one of those suggested things to do? A, drive carefully to avoid a crash. B, tap lightly on your horn. C, assume the other driver does not see you. Or D, when passing at night, turn on your high beams before starting to pass and leave them on until after you have passed the vehicle. The thing that is not suggested for you to do in the driver's handbook is D, when passing at night, turn your high beams on before starting to pass and leave them on until after you have passed the vehicle. Which of these statements about drugs is true? A, a driver can use any prescription drug while driving. B, amphetamines, such as pep pills or bennies, can be used to help keep the driver alert. C, the use of drugs can lead to accidents and/or arrests. Or D, all of the above. The answer is C, the use of drugs can lead to accidents and/or arrests. Which of these tells you a shipment contains hazardous materials? A, the name of the hazard class on the shipping papers. B, a 4-inch diamond-shaped hazardous materials label on the container. C, a hazardous materials placard on the vehicle. Or D, all of the above? The answer is D, all of the above. To avoid a crash, you had to drive onto the right shoulder. Now you are driving on the shoulder at 40 miles per hour. How should you move back onto the pavement? A. If the shoulder is clear, stay on it until your vehicle comes to a stop, then move back onto the pavement when it is safe. B. Brake hard to slow the vehicle, then steer onto the pavement. C. Steer sharply onto the pavement, and then brake hard as you steer. Or D. Keep moving at the present speed and steer very gently back onto the pavement. The answer is A. If the shoulder is clear, stay on it until your vehicle comes to a stop, then move back onto the pavement when it is safe to do so. Which fire can you use water to put it out? A. Tire fire. B. Gasoline fire. C. Electrical fire. Or D. All of the above. The answer is A. A tire fire. Finishing the sentence, you should use your mirrors to check A. The condition of your tires. B. Where the rear of your vehicle is and when you will make turns. C. Traffic gaps when merging. Or D. All of the above. The answer is D. All of the above. Which of these statements about speed management is true? A. On wet roads, you should reduce your speed by at least 1/3. B. On packed snow, you should reduce your speed by 1/2. C. When the road is slippery, it will take longer to stop and be harder to turn without skidding. Or D. All of the above. The answer is D. All of the above. Your vehicle is in a traffic emergency and may collide with another vehicle unless you take action. Which of these is a good rule to remember at such a time? A. You can usually turn to avoid an obstacle more quickly than you can stop. B. Stopping is always the safest action in a traffic emergency. C. Leaving the road is always more risky than hitting another vehicle. Or D. Unbuckle your safety belt before you impact so that you will not be trapped inside your vehicle. The answer is A. You can usually turn to avoid an obstacle more quickly than you can stop. Which of these statements about tires in hot weather driving is true? A. If a tire is too hot to touch, you should drive on it to cool it off. B. You should inspect your tires every 2 hours or 100 miles when driving in very hot weather. C. The air pressure of a tire decreases as the temperature of the tire increases. Or D. All of the above. The correct answer is B. You should inspect your tires every 2 hours or 100 miles when driving in very hot weather. Which is the most important thing to remember about emergency braking? A. Emergency braking helps keep the brake linings clean. B. Disconnecting the steer axle brakes will help keep your vehicle in a straight line. C. If the wheels are skidding, you cannot control the vehicle. Or D. Never emergency brake without downshifting first. The answer is C. If the wheels are skidding, you cannot control the vehicle. To correct a drive wheel braking skid, you should do which of the following? A. Stop braking. B. Stop braking, turn quickly and countersteer. C. Increase braking. Or D. Increase braking, then turn quickly and countersteer. The answer is B. Stop braking, turn quickly and countersteer. Which of these is a sign of tire failure? A. Steering that feels heavy. B. A loud bang. C. Vibration. Or D. All of the above. The answer is D. All of the above. What is the proper way to hold a steering wheel? A. With one hand. B. With both hands close together near the top of the steering wheel. C. With both hands close together near the bottom of the steering wheel. Or D. With both hands on opposite sides of the wheel. The answer is D. With both hands on opposite sides of the wheel. You are driving a 40-foot vehicle at 35 miles per hour. The road is dry and the visibility is good. What is the least amount of space you should keep in front of you to be safe? A, 2 seconds, B, 3 seconds, C, 4 seconds, or D, 5 seconds. The answer is C, 4 seconds. Which of these is a good thing to do when driving at night? A, keep your speed slow enough that you can stop within the range of your headlights. B, look directly at oncoming headlights only briefly. C, wear sunglasses. Or D, keep your instrument panels lights bright. The answer is A, keep your speed slow enough that you can stop within the range of your headlights. What statement about driving in areas with strong winds is true? A, you should drive alongside other vehicles to help break up the wind. B, the lighter your vehicle, the less trouble you will have with the wind. C, winds are especially a problem when coming out of tunnels. Or D, you can lessen the effect of wind by letting some air out of your tires. Well, the answer is C. Winds are especially a problem when coming out of tunnels. To help stay alert while driving, you should do what? A, schedule trips for hours that you are normally asleep. B, take cold medicine if you have a cold. C, take short breaks before you get drowsy. Or D, do all of the above. The answer is C, take short breaks before you get drowsy. You do not have a hazardous materials endorsement on your commercial driver's license. You can drive a vehicle hauling hazardous materials when A, the shipping will not go across state lines. B, the gross vehicle weight rating is 26,001 pounds or less. C, the vehicle does not require placards. Or D, a person who has the hazardous materials endorsement rides with you. The answer is C. The vehicle does not require placards. You wish to turn right from one two-lane, two-way street to another. Your vehicle is so long that you must swing wide to make the turn. How should the turn be made? A, you should swing wide before making the turn. B, you should swing wide after making the turn. C, you should start turning from the left lane and swing wide after the turn. Or D, you should start turning from the left lane and turn into the left lane of the new street. The answer is B, you should swing wide after making the turn. The road on which you are driving becomes very slippery due to glare ice. Which of these is a good thing to do in such a situation? A, stop driving as soon as you can safely do so. B, downshift to a stop. C, apply the brakes often to keep the linings dry. Or D, keep varying your speed by accelerating and braking. The answer is A, stop driving as soon as you can safely do so. What about engine retarders is true from the following? A, they cause extra brake wear. B, allow you to disconnect the steering axle brakes. C, can cause the drive wheels to skid when they have poor traction. Or D, cannot be used on interstate highways. The answer is C. They can cause the drive wheels to skid when they lose traction. You are driving a new truck that has a manual transmission. What gear will you probably have to use to make a long, steep downgrade? A, the same gear you would use to climb the hill. B, a lower gear than you would use to climb the hill. C, a higher gear than you would use to climb the hill. D, none. Newer trucks can coast downhill. The answer is B, a lower gear than you would use to climb the hill. Which of these is not part of the pre-trip inspection of the engine compartment area? A, engine oil level. B, valve clearance. C, condition of hoses. Or D, worn electrical wiring insulation. The answer is B, valve clearance. You can see a marking on the vehicle ahead of you. The marking is a red triangle with an orange center. What does that marking mean? A. It may be a slow-moving vehicle. B. The vehicle is hauling hazardous materials. C. It is a law enforcement vehicle. Or D. It is being driven by a student driver. The answer is A. It may be a slow-moving vehicle. High beams should be used A. When it is safe and legal to do so. B. Turned on when an oncoming driver does not dim his high beams. C. Only used in a law enforcement vehicle. Or D. Turned on when the vehicle is being driven by a student driver. The answer is A. Used when it is safe and legal to do so. An en route inspection should include checking for the following: A. Tire overheating. B. Brake overheating. C. Cargo securement. Or D. All of the above. The answer is D. All of the above. Which of these is a good thing to remember about drinking alcohol? A. Alcohol first affects the judgment and self-control, which are necessary for safe driving. B. The chance of a crash is much greater for drivers who have been drinking than for drivers who have not. C. A driver can lose his license for driving while intoxicated. Or D. All of the above. The answer is D. All of the above. You are checking your tires for a pre-trip inspection. Which of these statements is true? A. Dual tires should be touching each other. B. Tires of mismatched size should not be used on the same vehicle. C. Radial and bias ply tires can be used together on the same vehicle. D. 2/32 of an inch tread depth is safe for the front tires. The answer is B. Tires of mismatched sizes should not be used on the same vehicle. Which of these can cause a fire? A. Underinflated tires. B. Loose fuel connections. C. Electrical short circuits. Or D. All of the above. The answer is D. All of the above. What is countersteering? A. Turning the steering wheel counterclockwise. B. Steering in the opposite direction from what others expect you to do. C. Using the steering axle brakes to prevent oversteering. Or D. Turning the wheel back in the other direction after steering to avoid a traffic emergency. The answer is D. Turning the wheel back in the other direction after steering to avoid a traffic emergency. On which fires can you use the ABC type fire extinguisher? A. Electric fires. B. Burning liquids. C. Burning cloth. Or D. All of the above. The answer is D. All of the above. Which of these statements about cargo loading is true? A. The legal maximum weight allowed by a state can be considered safe for all driving conditions. B. Slight overloading can make a vehicle's brakes work better. C. State laws dictate legal weight limits. D. If cargo is loaded by the shipper, the driver is not responsible for overloading. The answer is C. State laws dictate legal weight limits. Which of these statements about using turn signals is true? A. When turning, you should cancel the signal just before you make your turn. B. You do not need to use your turn signals when changing lanes in traffic on a 4-lane highway. C. When turning, you signal early. D. You should use your turn signal to mark your vehicle when it is pulled off the side of the road. The answer is C. When turning, you signal early. Which of these statements about the use of brakes on long and or steep downgrades is true? A. Apply the brakes to a point just before they lock. B. When your speed has increased to 10 miles an hour above your safe speed, apply the brake. C. trailer brakes should be used. D. When your speed has been reduced to approximately 5 miles per hour below your safe speed, release the brakes. The answer is D. When your speed has been reduced to approximately 5 miles per hour below your safe speed, release the brakes. Which of these statements about speed management is true? A. Empty trucks always stop in a shorter distance than fully loaded ones. B. When you go twice as fast, it will likely take twice the distance to stop. C. You should choose a speed that lets you stop within the distance that you can see ahead. Or D. You should always brake during curves. The answer is C. You should choose a speed that lets you stop within the distance that you can see ahead. The center of gravity of a load, A, should be kept as high as possible. B, can make the vehicle more likely to tip over on curves if it is high. C, is only a problem if the vehicle is overloaded. Or D, all of the above. It is B, can make a vehicle more likely to tip over on curves if it is high. Which of these statements about marking a stopped vehicle is true? A. If a hill or a curve prevents drivers behind you from seeing the vehicle within 500 feet, the rear reflective triangle should be moved back down the road to give adequate warning. B. You do not need to pull out reflective triangles unless the vehicle will be stopped for 30 minutes or more. C. The vehicle's taillights should be kept on to warn other drivers. Or D. All of the above. The answer is A. If a hill or a curve prevents drivers behind you from seeing the vehicle within 500 feet, the rear reflective triangle should be moved back down the road to give adequate warning. You are checking your brakes and your suspension system for a pre-trip inspection. Which of these statements is true? A. Brake shoes should not have oil, grease, or brake fluid on them. B. Brake pads should not have any brake fluid on them. C. One missing leaf in a leaf spring can be dangerous. Or D. All of the above. The answer is D. All of the above. What is the most important hand signal you and the helper should agree on? A. Move over. B. Back straight. C. Stop. Or D. None of the above. The answer is C. Stop. Name 3 things that add up to total stopping distance. A. Perception distance, reaction distance, and braking distance. B. Brakes, transmission, and safe speed. C. Safe speed, downshifting, and stopping distance. Or D. All of the above. The answer is A. Perception distance, reaction distance, and braking distance. You are driving a 50-foot vehicle at 35 miles per hour. The road is dry and visibility is good. What is the least amount of space you should keep in front of your vehicle to be safe? A. 2 seconds. B. 3 seconds. C. 4 seconds. Or D. 5 seconds. The answer is D. 5 seconds. You are driving a vehicle that can be safely driven at 55 miles per hour on an open road. Traffic is heavy. Traffic is moving at 35 miles per hour, though the speed limit is 55 miles per hour. The safest speed for your vehicle is most likely A. 25 miles per hour, B. 35 miles per hour, C. 45 miles per hour, or D. 55 miles per hour. The answer is B. 35 miles per hour. Which of these statements about backing a heavy vehicle is true? A. You should avoid backing a heavy vehicle whenever you can. B. Helpers should be out of the driver's sight and use only spoken signals to communicate with the driver. C. It is safer to back towards the right side of the vehicle than towards the driver's side. Or D. All of the above. The answer is A. You should avoid backing a heavy vehicle whenever you can. Congratulations, you have completed the second phase of General Knowledge section. Now proceed on to the air brake section.